Hi there, it's Liz Yuille from Old Stables Crafts. I'm a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator based in the UK. Thank you very much for joining me again today for another of my It's Not Just for Christmas mini-series. Today I am focusing on this lovely paper, this amazing glitter paper. And I am going to obviously switch it up. This is the It's Not Just for Christmas version, and I'm going to make the It's Christmas version. I'm going to have to cough. Excuse me. So my It's Not Just for Christmas series is basically just highlighting some of the products that are in the new August to December catalogue, giving you some sneak peeks. And just showing you that they don't need to be used just for Christmas or autumn or Halloween or whatever. So, before I get started, if you're in the UK and you would like to get your hands on a little bit of all the paper, a little bit of all the ribbon, and a little bit of all the foils and glitter papers and what have you from the August-December catalogue, can't stop calling it the autumn-winter, I have got some product shares and I will make sure that they are linked in the blog post that is linked in the description bar below. So I'll put a link in the blog post so that you can just hop over and see the post about that. It is only for UK addresses, but it does mean you get a little bit of everything, and you can get the paper with the other paper, you can get the paper with the ribbon, or you can get everything together. So it's a really great way of getting your hands on a little bit of everything and then seeing which things you want to buy full packs of. So I've used, for this, the Happiest of Birthday stamp set. Now obviously for my Christmas project I won't be using this stamp set. I will be using the Peace and Joy stamp set. I should add that this is in the annual catalogue. But what I will be featuring is the Plaid Tidings designer series paper, which this is from, and I've already shown you the black glitter paper, which is stunning, behind this. For the version we're going to use for Christmas, I'm showing you the Balmy Blue glimmer paper. So let me get started. I've already mounted up, because it was a bit of a fiddle, Sending Peace and Joy. So the stamp set has got these wonderful large script fonts with block fonts as well. It is actually part of a bundle, and I highlighted the bundle once already in this mini series. And the bundle comes with the words, thin die cut words, and then the dies that cut out the script version and a shadow. So really great. We've got shadow dies for some of our words. Love a shadow die. Okay, so I have chosen, it doesn't shout Christmas, but it sort of will. So I've chosen this design, which has got another plaid on the reverse. The designs are all, they don't shout Christmas. I'm going to have to cough again. I've been talking too much today. I've been doing a lot of filming as it's a rather dreary day here. So I've been doing lots of filming so I can get ahead. So I would say that none of these particularly shout Christmas. Some of them shout masculine projects. Some of them don't. But a lot of them do. So that's a really great little... I don't think I put that on a masculine project. I don't know. Definitely, well, I say definitely, probably. I don't think that works, but you get what I mean. Not necessarily a masculine project. But I think it gives you the opportunity to go a little bit off-piste with your Christmas colours. So, I'm sorry. I always say I never stop my videos. If this carries on, I'm going to have to. Anyway, so this is the paper that I've chosen. This is Balmy Blue. I've pulled out the Balmy Blue ribbon that we had in last year's autumn-winter catalogue, which has carried over to the annual catalogue. And I'm going to be doing my stamping on Shaded Spruce, because this is one of the colours in the paper. And I'm still going to be doing white embossing. And I'm going to use the same die, which is one of the rectangle stitched dies. And I'm still going to be using white embossing powder. The first thing I'm going to do is, because I've got it, is use my embossing buddy. Unfortunately, these are no longer available. We are trying to get them back, but haven't succeeded yet. Give it a quick blow. Then Versamark ink over all of my stamps, and my theory is that I should be able to stamp them all in one go and get them reasonably straight. So my card is reasonably straight on my grid paper. So I've deliberately popped my stamps crooked on my block. Then it's more likely that I will stamp them straight. I know that sounds counterintuitive, but it tends to be the case. It doesn't matter if they're a little off, because I'm going to be die cutting the rectangle, but if we could be reasonably straight, it would be kind of nice. So fingers crossed, that looks okay. So grab my white embossing powder and dabble that in. Yeah, I think I got away with that stamping. I always think it's easier to get everything lined up and then stamp it, rather than trying to line up 4 dies, 2 of which are a script. Separate, sorry, 4 dies, 4 stamps. Particularly as 2 of them are a script. I think that would have been an interesting challenge. So let's bring in the trusty cheese board and my heat tool. Now, while I'm heating up my heat tool, is a good moment to remind you that if you enjoy my videos, subscribing just in the bottom right hand corner is always welcome. And if you enjoy the video, a thumbs up is also welcome. Any questions or comments, leave those below in the description bar and I will get back to you. Okay, so here we go. Okay, right, don't need my stamps anymore. This needs to dry, because basically what happens is that the powder melts, so you need to allow it time to solidify again. And I'm then going to run this through my die cutter. Now you will have noticed I'm going landscape rather than portrait, but it's basically the same layout. So let's bring in my die cutter, which I'd stupidly put away, and pop this on here. I've got my magnetic base plate on. Probably need to change my cutting plate. What I tend to do is keep one plate for the top and one for the bottom, and then when this one gets too worn, I'll switch this one to the bottom and a clean one to the top. That way I've always got a relatively clean one on top. Now I'm deliberately going sideways on or corner on. It's much easier to get your dies through your die cutter if you give them a little bit of assistance rather than a great big sleeping policeman in the way. I think that's straight, yeah. Okay. So there we go. And I've deliberately offset because I need somewhere to tie my ribbon. Okay, so I have pre-cut and gutted my balmy blue. My balmy blue glimmer paper, I should say. So that's going to go onto there. Possibly a little large. Did I use the same die? I did. Okay. I might. Yeah, it's all right. That's all right. We'll just go a little larger. It's fine. So the first thing I need to do is tie my ribbon round, except I'm not going to tie it. That's far too complicated. So I'm just going to cut a piece to go round it, and then another piece to tie. And I want a little bit of my seal. You could either use Seal or Seal Plus or tear and tape for this, but you want something that's going to grab hold of your ribbon. That's my longer piece, yeah. And then what I like to do is put it into the position I want it from the front, and then tuck one end round, and then I can line up. Didn't tuck it round terribly straight, so let's just get that straighter on itself, and then line it up on the grid paper, and then this piece I can make sure I'm using the same lines on the grid paper to get that in place. And then I just grab a silicone craft mat and tie this just in a half knot. And I'm one of those people that, rather than trying to get something absolutely in the middle and probably not, I deliberately don't put it in the middle. That way it looks more intentional. If you're slightly off middle, it kind of looks odd. So just, we'll go that way. One. And two. Get rid of those bits. So that's that. I'll put some dots on at the end, but for now I need to grab my dimensionals. Whoops. And add some. I do like to kind of make sure that as much as possible I trap the ends of ribbon, as long as they're not too bulky. So I'll pop one there, but this one I'll pop one just there. It just helps to keep everything kind of in place. Don't want that off yet. So and then pop some in the middle. Possibly one at the end there. This is all that's going to be sticking it to the glimmer paper, so I am being a little more generous with my dimensionals than I would normally be. Let's take those off. I'm going to leave the two in the middle for the moment, and then pop this down. And line up. Oh, I've just remembered what I can, if I can find them quickly, what I can use for my three little dots. Bear with me one moment. As I rummage through my box of goodies and not find what I was looking for. Knowing my luck. Oh, there they are. Blue adhesive backed gems. Okay. I haven't quite got my head round everything that we've got in the new catalogue yet. I haven't got my head around what we've got in the new annual catalogue yet, so I really haven't got much hope for the autumn-winter. Or do I want them down there? No, I think I want them at the bottom. If that will come off, it will. I think I want them down here. Aren't these just divine? They are so sparkly. I mean, they just, oh, they're kind of, I mean, they say blue. They are almost an iridescent rather than a blue. So yeah, loving those a lot. Okay, so this is why I used my silicone mat, because a lot of the dimensionals are oh, I took that one off, are exposed. So let me pop that to one side. We'll bring in our paper and our card, and I'm just going to run some seal round the edge of my paper. Oops, it's not playing for me. It's been very well behaved and it's suddenly decided to not be. Come on. I've just put a new refill in, and they are quite loose when you first put them in. So I think that's why it's not behaving quite as I would like it to. I will beat it into submission. Okay. So this is just the hair of a smidge of a border. And then if we bring in our glittery bit, whoops, this can go to one side. Do I need some? I might just pop some, just to be on the safe side. Pop some liquid adhesive around there. My brain really isn't working today. I think I should probably not have decided that today was going to be the day when I did most of my filming for the week. But as we have got the most bizarre weather at the moment, I thought it was a good day for being indoors. Okay, now I've got half a sheet of Whisper White, thick Whisper White, scored in the middle. I've already stamped it with my contact details for some reason. Normally don't do that until after I've finished. Once upon a time, there we go, I had a bone folder. I do have a spare bone folder, which is actually right in front of me, but hey, why use the one that I can see when I can use the one that I couldn't find? Pop that down there, like that, and I've got this strip which will fit quite nicely at the bottom on the inside. So let me grab my silicone mat again and add some seal all the way across the bottom of my, that lifted up a little bit, so let's just stick that properly, and pop this all the way across the bottom of the inside of my card. And as I say, I've got my contact details already stamped on the back. And there we go. So there is my Christmas version and my It's Not Just for Christmas version. So I hope you've enjoyed those. Just, don't just assume that just because something says it's for Christmas, it doesn't have to be. Thank you very much indeed for joining me. I hope you enjoyed that. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe. There will be a list of all the products I've used below and a link to my blog post about this, which will have the details about my product shares. So if you're in the UK, do go and have a look at that. You've got until the 2nd of August to pay for them, so it's really, there's plenty of time to get that sorted out for you. Thank you very much indeed, and I look forward to seeing you again with a brain very soon. Bye.